7 centuries ago, in the shadow of medieval monasteries, a farming secret was born. A method so enduring it carried peasants through famine, plague, and war. Today, hidden in the quiet fields of Amish communities, that same secret still thrives, untouched by tractors, chemicals, or modern shortcuts. What could possibly be so powerful, so timeless, that it survives unchanged across 700 years of human history? The answer lies in soil, in cycles, and in a wisdom modern agriculture abandoned. But the Amish never forgot, and neither did the land. The medieval world was a place of constant uncertainty. Crops failed under relentless rains, armies marched across fields, and famine struck with merciless regularity. For peasants, survival hinged not on wealth or weapons, but on the soil beneath their feet. Every harvest was a gamble against nature, and every mistake could mean starvation. To endure, farmers developed systems of rotation, composting, and seed preservation, methods born not from luxury, but necessity. These practices became lifelines, passed quietly from generation to generation, even as kingdoms rose and fell. Centuries later, across the Atlantic, a community known as the Amish would inherit and preserve echoes of this medieval wisdom. While the modern world embraced machines, fertilizers, and monocultures, the Amish remained rooted in cycles of balance, rotating fields, nurturing soil, and trusting rhythms older than memory. What began as survival in the Middle Ages became a philosophy of resilience in America. Their farms are not relics of the past, but living testaments to a secret that has endured for 700 years. That true abundance comes not from conquering the land, but from listening to it. Walk into any modern garden center today, and you'll see shelves lined with chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and quick-fix solutions. They promise lush harvests and pest-free plants, yet behind the glossy packaging lies a deeper problem: dependency. Modern gardeners often find themselves trapped in a cycle where the soil weakens year after year, forcing them to buy more products just to keep plants alive. What was once a living ecosystem becomes a fragile patch of dirt stripped of resilience. Soil degradation is the silent crisis. Decades of chemical use and monoculture planning have drained the earth of its natural fertility. Instead of rich, dark soil teeming with life, many gardeners face compacted, lifeless ground that resists growth. Pests thrive in these weakened systems, and diseases spread quickly when diversity is lost. The solution offered? More sprays, more powders, more synthetic inputs. But each application only masks the symptoms, never restoring the foundation. Contrast this with the Old World systems. Medieval farmers, and later the Amish, understood that soil was not a resource to exploit, but a partner to nurture. They rotated crops to prevent exhaustion, used compost and manure to feed the earth, and relied on natural cycles to control pests. Their methods built strength over time, creating fields that could endure famine, drought, and centuries of use. Modern systems, by comparison, often collapse under stress. A single bad season can wipe out yields, leaving gardeners scrambling for artificial fixes. The irony is stark. With all our technology, many modern gardens are weaker than those tended by peasants centuries ago. The Amish, by holding on to medieval wisdom, have preserved a resilience that modern agriculture forgot. Their soil remains alive, their harvest steady, and their methods sustainable without dependency on external inputs. It is not nostalgia, it is survival. And it raises a haunting question. If the old ways are stronger, why did we abandon them? 1. Crop rotation. Medieval farmers learned that planting the same crop year after year drained the soil. Instead, they rotated grains, legumes, and fallow fields in a 3-field system. One season wheat, the next beans, then a year of rest. This rhythm restored fertility and broke pest cycles. The Amish still rotate corn, alfalfa, and oats, ensuring their soil never grows tired. It's a dance of patience, where time itself becomes the farmer's ally. 2. Living fertility. Instead of chemical fertilizers, medieval peasants fed the soil with compost, manure, and ash. Every scrap of organic matter was returned to the earth, creating a dark, living humus. Picture a medieval barnyard, manure piled high, straw mixed in, steaming gently in the cold air. Today, Amish farms echo this practice, spreading manure by hand or horse-drawn spreader. The result is soil that grows richer with each generation, not poorer. 3. Natural pest control. Without pesticides, medieval farmers relied on diversity. Herbs planted at field edges repelled insects, while mixed crops confused pests. Chickens and ducks patrolled gardens, devouring beetles and larvae. The Amish continue this balance, using animals as guardians of the harvest. It's not warfare against nature, but partnership, pests kept in check by predators, not poisons. 4. Seed saving. Medieval families guarded seeds like treasure, selecting the strongest plants to carry forward. These heirlooms adapted to local soil and climate, becoming resilient over centuries. The Amish still save seeds, passing them down through families. Each kernel carries history, a genetic memory of survival. And 5. Water wisdom. Medieval farmers dug ditches and channels to guide rain, preventing floods and drought. The Amish, too, shaped their land with careful drainage, respecting water's power. It's a reminder that farming is not about control, but cooperation with forces larger than ourselves. On Amish farms, the medieval rhythm is alive. Fields are rotated with precision, corn followed by alfalfa, oats, or pasture. Manure from horses and cattle is spread carefully, enriching the soil without chemicals. Chickens wander freely, pecking at pests, while families save seeds from the strongest plants each season. Drainage ditches are dug by hand, guiding rainwater across the land. These practices aren't romantic relics, they are practical systems proven to sustain communities for centuries. The Amish don't farm to maximize speed, they farm to ensure survival, resilience, and balance with the land. Medieval farmers designed systems for survival, not profit. Every method was a safeguard against famine, a way to endure uncertainty. The Amish inherited this mindset, farming as resilience, not exploitation. Modern agriculture, by contrast, prioritizes speed, scale, and profit margins. It seeks immediate yield, often at the expense of long-term health. The lesson is clear: survival requires patience, diversity, and respect for cycles. Viewers can learn from this mindset to see soil not as a commodity, but as a living partner. In that shift of perspective lies the difference between fragility and endurance. You don't need to live like the Amish to apply their wisdom. Start small. Rotate crops in your garden. Don't plant tomatoes in the same spot every year. Compost kitchen scraps and yard waste to feed your soil naturally. Plant herbs or flowers alongside vegetables to deter pests. Save seeds from your healthiest plants for next season. Shape your garden's water flow with simple trenches or raised beds. These steps build resilience over time. They're not quick fixes, but they create gardens that grow stronger each year. 700 years ago, farmers discovered a secret that carried them through plague and famine. Today, the Amish still guard that wisdom, proving that survival is not about conquering nature, but cooperating with it. Modern systems may chase speed and profit, but the soil remembers patience. If we forget these old lessons, we risk repeating history's mistakes: fragile harvests, exhausted land, and dependence on chemicals. But if we listen, if we return to cycles older than memory, we may rediscover abundance.
The secret is not lost. It waits quietly in the soil beneath our feet.